The new Ram temple has been consecrated in India's Ayodhya. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the ceremony as a Yajman, or the chief patron of the rituals. The chief patron of the rituals, he addressed a crowd of 7,000 after completing the ritual. Take a look.
राम आग नहीं है, राम ऊर्जा है। राम विवाद नहीं, राम समाधान है। राम सिर्फ हमारे नहीं है, राम तो सबके हैं। राम वर्तमान नहीं, सिर्फ वर्तमान ही नहीं, राम अनंत काल है। साथियों, आज जिस तरह राम मंदिर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के इस आयोजन से पूरा विश्व जुड़ा हुआ है, उसमें राम की सर्वव्यापकता के दर्शन हो रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister was on a fast for the last 11 days as part of the rituals that he had to sleep on the floor all these days. The Prime Minister also ended his fast after the consecration by consuming the prasad and panchamrit. The Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, the Governor Anandiben Patel and the RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat accompanied the Prime Minister in the rituals that were performed inside the Sanctum Sanctorum. Shortly after this, Prime Minister Modi addressed 7,000 guests present at the premises. Meanwhile, worshippers rejoiced in Ayodhya as religious fervour and devotion took over the town. For many months now, the town of Ayodhya has been in the process of getting a massive facelift for this big, large-scale ceremony. A new airport, a refurbished railway station, broadened and beautified roads. These are just some of the measures taken in projects that cost more than $3 billion. All these were launched in Temple City. The Grand Temple was built over the commonly believed site that marks the birthplace of Hindu deity Ram. A Supreme Court judgment on the Ram Janmabhoomi title suit in 2019 paved the way for the construction of the Ram Temple. The ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and allied groups have been demanding the construction of a Ram Temple at the site for at least 4 decades now. Prime Minister Modi had laid the foundation of the temple back in 2020. Now, joining us live to tell us more about what's happening in Ayodhya is my colleague Molly Gambhir. She has been getting us live updates from the consecration ceremony through the morning. Molly, thanks for joining us. Tell us what's happening now. You've been getting us live updates, lots of excitement. The excitement, in fact, has been palpable, not just in India, not just in Ayodhya, but from all corners of the world. Tell us what's happening around you as of now.
Indeed, and let me just tell you that what we witnessed here in Ayodhya is only a sample of the kind of celebrations that have been witnessed across the country. Like you mentioned, this is something that is visible and is palpable, not just here in the temple town, but different parts of the country have been joining in the festivities in their own manner and contributing to what has been called a national festival. the devotees who gathered here in Ayodhya since early hours of the morning, since the time the security arrangements were also made tighter in view of the fact that the dignitaries were expected to arrive for the consecration ceremony along with the Indian Prime Minister in attendance there. The devotees started trickling in, and in fact, on either side of this crucial juncture, which is called the Lata Mangeshkar Chowk here in Ayodhya, which in fact has been the epicenter of a lot of this activity, with cultural performances taking place on either side of this road, with a lot of these devotees in fact having planned their travel to Ayodhya days in advance because they wanted to be here in the city, they said, and not anywhere else, to be a part of it, to contribute in any manner. Like I said, days ahead, so they were also trying to contribute in whatever way they can. We earlier got our viewers reports from different parts talking about, for example, a man from Hyderabad who had assembled an over 1200 kg laddu for being a part of this ceremony. The world's largest lock, as it has been called, coming in from Aligarh. So all of these gestures, just a few examples of the way in which the devotees wanted to feel like they were a part of this ceremony in their own manner. The dignitaries, nearly 7,000 of them who attended that ceremony today, and the Indian Prime Minister then culminating that ceremony, following that up with that address in which he highlighted the significance of the consecration ceremony today, calling it a long wait which has ended, also the beginning of a new time cycle. And the devotees who were present here in large numbers, cultural performances, loud chants of Sri Ram, and the way in which this was more like a festival being celebrated over here in Ayodhya, the high-level arrangements in terms of the decorations,
right.
All of that put together, a lot of color, a lot of enthusiasm that has been witnessed through the day in the build-up to the ceremony, throughout the ceremony and post that as well.
Right, Molly, as you've been telling us and we've been showing our viewers, the consecration ceremony and of course the rituals were led by the Indian leadership, the Prime Minister Modi, along with the rest of the leadership. But this was also quite a star-studded event to quite an extent, with a lot of celebrities and dignitaries and VIPs in attendance. Tell us about the lead-up to the event.
Indeed, and which is why, given the fact that we had these thousands of dignitaries congregating here for that consecration ceremony, hectic security arrangements, first of all, that were put in place in the build-up to the ceremony. In fact, over the last 48 hours, we've been talking about the way in which the security arrangements were being tightened when it comes to the multi-layered security, also the AI-powered drones, the series of command centers, and facial recognition techniques also that were employed. That's just one part of the way in which the security was tightened, and the Uttar Pradesh police are talking about how this was a huge undertaking for them. So that was one part of the build-up. The second part, of course, was the color and the fervor, and the very fact that we had this string of sports personalities, film personalities, celebrities from different sectors, and essentially people from all walks of life congregating here. But the VVIPs, religious leaders, and that ceremony being led by the Indian Prime Minister, and all through we had all of these devotees also wanting to catch a glimpse of what was going on. The ceremony was being broadcast live at the screen here as well, inside the media center, for everyone to have a look at it, look at the proceedings as well. So that's in a way just a sample of what we witnessed here in Ayodhya. But like I said, this is something that people of the entire country were watching. People from different parts of the country were also watching. Here, devotees had congregated from not just different parts of the state of Uttar Pradesh, but from across the country.
Right, Molly Kambir, my colleague, thanks so much for all the updates and thanks for joining us on WION at this hour.